Hey guys, Brett with Broussard Homestead. It's mid-July, late July, here in southwest Louisiana. The elderberries are ready for harvest, so we're going to show you guys how we do that. And you see this nice big cluster with mostly black berries. There's a few underripe green berries and some that are a little reddish. We're not going to use those, but this is mostly black, so we're going to take, oh, look at that guy. How about that? There's a pair of walking sticks. I'll just try to get those off of there because we don't want to bring them in the house. We'll let them stay out here. Come on. There, well. All right. And we just take the whole cluster just like that, and we're going to bring that in to process. And we're going to look for some more here. I see some that are underripe. There's not enough good berries on there. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. On a side note, we got quite a bit of rain yesterday evening, so the berries are looking good and plump. Here's one that's mostly black. I think I'll take this one. No friends on this one. I see lots and lots and lots of green ones still, so we should be getting harvest for a few weeks. As they turn black, we'll be cutting those out, taking them in, processing. Amy decided to start dehydrating the elderberries, and it's working really well. I like dehydrating because we can store things in a smaller area, and the chickens don't seem to want to be cooperating with us, so just bear with us, please.
You're making eggs.
Well, that's a good thing. There's a few clusters on this plant, but as you can see, there is some pretty black berries, but there's a lot that are still light colored. They're not quite black yet, so we're just going to leave that for another day or so. Check back. Here's a good cluster. It's not very full, but some pretty black berries there. Not a whole lot of berries on this one, but they are pretty berries. You can stay outside. Here we are back in the kitchen, taking the elderberries off of the stems. Elderberries in the plate looking like some weird Cajun caviar. This process is tedious. There's some info out there online, little hacks and tricks to take the elderberries off of the stems easier. But this is how we do it. It might be more tedious, but this is how we get quality control. After we've got the elderberries all taken off of the stems and we've culled through them, we put them in a fine mesh strainer and we just rinse them with cool water. Give them a good shake to get all the excess water off. We're going right to the dehydrator with these, but if you couldn't get to them right away, they will store in the fridge, just moist like this in a Tupperware for a couple of days. I wouldn't leave them any longer than that. It's a nice even layer. At this point, I'm being very careful not to crush the berries. Just gently rolling them around. You don't want too much berries. You want to allow for the airflow. In this dehydrator, the air flows from the underneath. Some dehydrators, it flows from the back. We don't have one of those, so I can't speak on that behalf.
We also had trouble finding the screens for this size and shape dehydrator. We had bought a couple and they just didn't fit right, so we cut window screen to fit, and it's washed really well. And
It's just, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just window screen. We cut it to fit. It's fiberglass window screen, not the metal stuff. This is some we already had in the fridge, waiting for the next round in the dehydrator. You can tell they're very similar. They've only been in the fridge for what, 2 days at the most?
so yesterday.
So you can see they store well in the fridge in an airtight container. Into the dehydrator they go. And see, this, we're still on the low end of dehydrating, so we still have just a cheap, I guess it's cheap, I don't know, I don't remember. But it's not anything big and fancy. And that's it. Once the berries have gone through the dehydrator, you'll know they're done when they're dry and crunchy. We like to store them in mason jars with desiccant packs. A desiccant pack, you can see that in there, it's a moisture absorber. And in our experience, what happens when we put them in the jar warm with the desiccant pack, it actually seals. You want to do that for me? Holy. Okay. Be careful opening your jars. So this is what the dried berries look like. They shrink up quite a bit. They look like little raisins. And they store for a really long time.
You know they're dry because you pinch them, and they're really crunchy. Crunchy dry.
We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope it was informative. Also find us on Facebook and at broussardhomestead.com. Until next video, this is Brett with Broussard Homestead.